Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready.
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road for a battle against West Virginia. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Enjoy the Spanish Fork Wings and Wheels air show going on this Saturday. Over 15 World War II aircraft will be on display. Many will offer rides or walk through this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Where's that again?
The Spanish Fork Airport.
All right.
Let's talk a little West Virginia football. Let's get out of the zone phone. Joining us now, he covers West Virginia for Blue and Gold Sports. He's Kevin Kinder with us here on Jake and Ben. What's going on, Kevin?
Hey, finally getting some rain here. It's been a drought in Morgantown, so looking for a little bit of that, but it should be pretty good weather for Saturday.
Kevin, are you injured? Because everybody else on West Virginia seems to be injured.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I'm getting to the age where there's something always hurting a little bit, but able to play through it. You know, I know the coaches don't like to use it as an excuse. You know, no coach does, and they're always going to give you the next man up statement, but you know, West Virginia's really been hit with some of its best players. Its best running back, its best wide receiver, best offensive lineman got knocked out last week, although it looks like he may be able to come back for this game. It's just been a bunch, and when you're trying to rebuild and just find out who your best players are, you know, that's just a tough hurdle to overcome.
Ben and I were just talking about coaches that go back to places that they've had success, and we were talking about Rich Rod, and we got a little bit more familiar with him when he was coaching in Arizona, and we got to talk to him at Pac-12 Media Days and those sorts of things, and he coached at Arizona. Like the program, he did not lose his job at Arizona because the program was in bad shape. It was obviously other things. So I'm curious to your thoughts about Rich Rod's return and how's it going to go?
He has sounded all the right notes. You know, when he left, there were obviously some bad feelings. It was kind of ugly. There was lawsuit back and forth. And so he knew he had to, you know, make that up a little bit. And to me, he said everything correctly. You know, he has said, hey, I made a mistake. I should not have left the way I did. You know, I want to come back and pick it up and get the program to, you know, where I think it should be. So give him credit for all of that. The thing that we are going to look at now is it's a different way of team building now, as you know. You know, you don't build over 3 or 4 years. You find guys in the portal. You get 4 or 5, hopefully, difference makers out of high school, and you can turn it around pretty quickly. And people just aren't as patient now. Richard was really good at building the program before. He obviously got a player in Pat White that was, you know, one of the best 2 or 3 quarterbacks in West Virginia history. So, you know, he's got to find a guy like that, but then he's got to succeed in the portal. Can he do that on this end of the portal? We're waiting to see. Obviously, a bunch of players came in. There have been a few successes. For the most part, it's, you know, still kind of jury's still out deal.
Well, Utah got to face the backup quarterback at Texas Tech in the second half of their loss on Saturday, and that did not bode well for them. Will Hammond ended up playing terrifically well. Nico Marchio, I know, is hurt. What is his status, and does he expect to play on Saturday? And if he doesn't, is there an obvious name? Who's the backup?
That one's a total mystery because Coach Rodriguez said on Tuesday that he did not know about this injury until Nico came to him on Monday, and he went to go see a specialist. They got a family doctor himself or whatever from his home in Colorado. So that one's just wait and see. We're going to have to look at the injury report, see what happens there. If it's not him, I think it will be Jalen Henderson, who is not anywhere near the thrower Nico is, but he is a better runner, more physical, faster, gets into the hole more quickly. And I think where West Virginia is right now with its offense, he might pair better with Ty Edwards. running back who missed last week but is expected to be back this week. Ty is a physical guy, 240, 245, and can really thump it when he's running. He's shown that ability after transferring in. So maybe that's the way West Virginia tries to move forward a little bit, is to pound it on the ground, control it, still, run as many plays as it can, but, try to wear down the opponent. I know that's not an easy task against Utah, but that might be their shot in this game.
Defensively, what is West Virginia bringing to the table? Because the Utes last week against Texas Tech, who really had a formidable defense, but they really struggled to move the ball. So what is West Virginia like defensively?
Everything. And I say that kind of joking. Like, the coordinator is Zach Alley, came from Oklahoma, and he plays everything. You will see all different sorts of alignments, changes from week to week. They've gone things from as varied as just 2 down defensive linemen to a 4 or 5 man front, 6 defensive backs, a lot of hybrid safety linebackers. So, it's kind of a mix and match. What do they think will work the best against the offense they're facing? So it's, still kind of getting a handle on what he does, but I think the biggest thing to watch are his edge, his hybrid defenders. There's a bandit. There's a couple of linebacker/safeties that are really integral in playing against both the run and the pass, setting the edge, dropping into short coverage. Those players have to play well for West Virginia's defense to do well. And actually, the defense has been okay. I know Kansas scored 41 points last week, but a lot of that was not on the defense. There was a kickoff return for a touchdown. There were 2 other returns that set them up, in really good field position. The defense has been, while not great, has been okay. It's just they haven't gotten any support from the offense.
What changed between what felt like a very impressive win and certainly well-celebrated win over Pitt to Saturday's blowout loss to Kansas?
Kansas is a much better team. Of course, West Virginia and Pitt, that's a rivalry like Utah-BYU. So, everybody's going to be all up for that game, all fired up for it. And when you win it, you tend to overlook any problems. I'm not sure how good Pitt is this year. If they win 6 or 7 games, I think they might be doing well. So I think it was more the opposition than anything else. Kansas was the best team West Virginia has faced to date, and I think that might happen again this year, or again this week, even notwithstanding Utah's loss last week. If they look really solid, if the quarterback spot is okay, it's going to be a tough challenge for the Mountaineers.
I have not seen a game at Morgantown, but I have it in my mind as one of the great atmospheres in college football. So I'm curious, if Ute fans make the trip, as long as it is, what are they in for?
It has been really welcoming and different in the Big 12, and so I think West Virginia fans are trying to do that with the new teams that have come in. So I think they'll get a mostly welcoming atmosphere. There's no pro team in the state. West Virginia is the happening, athletically in this state. Every parking lot, every open space around the stadium is crammed with people tailgating. Your visitors won't have any problems getting offers for food, drink, whatever they might come in and do. And, it is. Of course, everyone thinks that their home venue has good things about it, and they all do. But, Saturdays are just kind of an event in Morgantown. There's, a little trepidation right now with what the program's looking like early on, but I think they will have a really good time.
So what does a successful rest of the season look like? Does it have to be a bowl game? Is that realistic at this point? Would that be too low of a bar?
For me?
Yeah, I guess your sense
a lot of observers, I don't think so. I mean, fans, I think a bowl game is kind of the low end. I think that's a realistic, maybe, still goal, but they've got to pick off a game or 2 that they weren't expected to in order to get there now that they lost the Ohio game and, things look kind of bad with the start of the Big 12. For me, if West Virginia could go 6-6 and get to a small bowl, I think that'd be a really successful first season. I know that won't make everybody happy, but a reasonable goal,
What do you think about the current status of the Big 12, these universities together and their place in college football?
I wonder, they're just so different. So a lot of the schools are so different in their missions and what they are. West Virginia is a land-grant institution. It's a lot like Iowa State. BYU is obviously a different school. You got the mega schools that are just so big, like Arizona State. So it's different, but I think the one thing the league can hang its hat on is I'm really impressed with Commissioner Brett Yormark. Had a chance to sit down with him a couple of times, speak with him about his vision, what he's trying to do, and I think he's a good mix of understanding the athletic side versus understanding the business and marketing side. If there's any way the Big 12 can hang on and, still be in there on the next tier right below the SEC and the Big 10, I think he's the guy to do it.
Kevin, thank you for jumping on with us. We really appreciate it, and enjoy the game on Saturday.
It should be a really good one. Looking forward to seeing Utah again. I was actually there the last time West Virginia and Utah played at a miserable Heart of Dallas Bowl, which I'm sure Utah fans remember well. So looking forward to greeting the Ute fans again.
Thank you, Kevin. We appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks a lot.
There's Kevin Kinder, covers West Virginia for Blue and Gold Sports. I remember that bowl game. I did a pre- and post-game show for it, and it was hot, wasn't it? It was like crazy hot for a bowl game. Have to remember.
Yeah, I think you're right. 30-14, 2017? Utah wins, yeah.
You'd have to look at that. It was like 90 degrees or something like that. It was crazy hot for a December bowl game.
Yeah. Zach Moss, big game. A traditionally terrible formula for an opponent is a young or inexperienced quarterback going up against Utah's defense. Now, we just saw that last week, and it was not a great formula for Utah. They did not take advantage. In fact, Baron Morton, Witt said, we wish Baron Morton had stayed in the game, which is one of the funnier things a coach has ever said about an opposing player. But not only is this a new quarterback potentially playing, even if it's Marchio, he's not good. If you go to the backup, the fact that he couldn't win the job, again, I don't actually trust coaches all that much to get the right starting quarterback, especially early in the season. We've seen it go wrong plenty of times. But, man, West Virginia's offensive line is terrible, too. It's just like this is a real – if Utah doesn't dominate this game defensively, and I think, they had a great performance on Saturday as well until the very end, that would be, I guess, concerning for Utah, but this is not a particularly good West Virginia team.
All right, so what is the bar for the offense? They have to score at least how many points to win?
21.
Oh, I thought I would have set it lower. I don't. Do you think West Virginia is going to put up 20 points on Utah's defense?
No, I don't. And actually, if you look at West Virginia's season this year, how many points they scored, 45 against Robert Morris, don't care. They scored 10 points against Ohio. Yes, they scored 31 points against Pitt, but it went to overtime. And in overtime, you start in the red zone, so you better score. And that's how they got up to that level. And then they only scored 10 points on Saturday. So, no, I don't think they can score. Yes, I think Utah should probably be able to hold them lower than that. If it's just to win, the answer is probably 14 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Just to win. You have
just
to win.
Is 14
minimally, you have
points.
to score how many points?
If you want to know, if Utah wins this game 14-10, this is not a good performance from Utah. Now, you just got to get your wins. You just got to get your victories. That's really all that matters at the end of the year.
Back.
Who cares? Your record is the only stat that matters. But you want to, after scoring 10 points against Texas Tech, show that this offense is actually a good offense and can move, especially against bad teams. That's what you want to do. I think you need to go out there and show it. So.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think West Virginia is going to score a ton of points. But Utah's offense needs to put the ball in the end zone a few times.
Yes, they do.
And talking to Kevin about their defense, it doesn't sound like they're changing the world over there, but it doesn't sound like they stink either.
Yeah, it's not atrocious. Again, they held Pitt to 24 points, including overtime, and they allowed 41 points to Kansas. But like you said, there was this kick return for a touchdown and some great setups off of kick returns. So we'll see. But I don't think a lot of points are coming from West Virginia. You hope Utah treats them the way they did UCLA and says, fine, we'll just run it up on you.
West Virginia is 51st in total defense.
Okay, that's fine.
Middle of the row.
Yeah. What are they in offense?
Give me a moment. Total offense, is that what you're looking for?
Dude, let's do our thing.
Well, hold on. I got to pull them all up then. Usually I have a chance to prepare before we. Let's see. Total offense, West Virginia 63.
Okay. It was better than I expected.
But passing isn't really relevant because we don't. It's going to be a different quarterback, right?
We think.
So I don't know. Scoring offense, that's probably a little more relevant.
Again, it's a little jaded because they scored 45 points the first week of the season. And won that game 45-3. But it's early. Yeah. You're
92nd in scoring.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Utah should hold them to 10 points, 13 points.
I would think so, too. I would think so. But then again, I thought they would score more against Texas Tech, and they did not. I was happy to be in the Big 12, but today
I am not.
All right, stay tuned. We've got What You Got Wednesday.
Do we have thought of any drafts? We didn't even talk about it.
I've got an idea.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Christian
well,
has an idea.
In 5 minutes, so.
We'll come up with something.
Okay.
Stay tuned. More next. 97.5 DKSL Sports Zone.